Last year's #1 recruiting class and this year's #4. You're part of 2 top 5 recruiting classes in a row. Do you see a big jump in talent level from one to the other, or are both about the same?
We've kind of talked about it. They like I said, they said, I don't know exactly who they are, but they said we had the #1, recruiting class last year. We had the #4 recruiting class this year. I really don't see much difference. They both kind of look like the #1 recruiting class to me, to be perfectly honest with you. We might have a little bit of edge this year. We kind of compared the board from last year to this year. We talked about it a little bit, and there's some pretty exciting players up there. With playing as many guys as we did last year, have a good group of guys coming back, and then adding these new freshmen that we're going to put in here in the fall. We're pretty excited about what the possibilities are.
How is the progression from last year's recruiting class to now? They came in as freshmen, and now they're starting to get their shoes are getting bigger to fill.
Right.
Now they're sophomores. What has their progression been like so far? Are you impressed? Or?
Oh yeah, it's tough now. For a high school kid to come to college, #1 is tough to begin with. Now to ask them to come in, not only go to class, but now you're lifting weights, not only going to practice, but now, like I said, a good number of those freshmen were actually out on the football field in the fall. That's a big jump for those guys. But just taking a look at their grades and the way they're attending class, this semester, and the extra effort they're putting in, like I said, to catching extra balls and going out there and throwing. Like I told my guys the other day in the receiver room, there's no rookies in this room anymore, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing to not have to say, hey, these are a bunch of true freshmen that we're trying to get ready to roll. It's time for spring ball. It's almost, they're sophomores now, and it's time to step it up.
Well, since we're almost to spring ball, we have a graphic for the fans, but we're gonna look forward to the schedule. We start off at Air Force, traveling to Colorado. That's going to be a big game. What are your thoughts on that game so far?
That's exciting for our guys. I have a little bit of history, like we talked about with the service academies. I took visits to all of them, and very impressed. With those type of places. I think it's going to be neat. I think we're going to go out. On Thursday, a day early. Show those guys the academy, kind of show them. Give them a little bit of history lesson and show them what it's all about. And then, like I said, who knows? You know what I mean? That's a great opportunity for our guys to go out and play a game like that in a place like Colorado Springs, where we've got a lot of homeboys on the team that hadn't been to too much further out of Louisiana. So to see a little bit different part of the country is going to be neat for them.
And then our next games will be September 11th, which is obviously always going to be a big game. And September 18th against Samford and Tarleton State. 2 newcomers to our schedule. They wasn't there last year. These are FCS schools.
Right.
What about those games? Because that's a big difference from last year with all the BCS schools we faced then.
Right. It's nice to be able to have 2 good home games like that back to back. I think that's a credit to our administration. Getting that scheduled for us. It's obviously tough. With the way we started out last year with Houston and Baylor. Those were tough games for us, especially with the group of young guys that we had. To be able to play 2 games early at home like that. Against some teams that we might not be as familiar with, but we feel like we match up pretty good. That's a great opportunity for us to get off on the right foot, and like we talked about earlier, to build some confidence. So when we do get into that middle of third quarter, we can push over the edge. So.
And then September 25th, we travel all the way up to North Dakota, a rematch of last season. The game was here, really close game. Looking for revenge in that game, I suspect.
There's no doubt. I thought we played them tough last year. That's a tough bunch of players. They're known for that, bringing some tough guys, down to the South. Where I was very impressed with them. But like I said, I thought we had a pretty good opportunity to win that one last year. Just getting our guys back up there. Now we've got a year of film, on them. We kind of know what to expect from them. But again, great trip for our guys to see a different part of the country, and like you said, hopefully get a little revenge.
And then after that, it's going to be all the conference. We had a tough conference last year. What do you believe that will be like the main focus in the conference this year?
The great thing about playing in the Southland Conference is it's week to week. You never exactly know what's going to happen. It's such a competitive conference. There's a lot of parity. You don't like to single out anybody, but obviously we'd like to like to beat McNeese, like to beat Central Arkansas, some of those kind of top tier teams. But then you take a look at guys like Stephen F. Austin had a great season. They were kind of in our similar situation. They went 0 for a couple years ago, and now they're at the top of the conference. Southeastern's playing really really well, and then Texas State and Sam. Like I said, it's a great conference to play in because there are no cream puffs, there are no pushovers. You're in for a battle every weekend.
Battle of the Chief Cato Trophy will be on the 20th of November this year. describe to me last year. You know, we lost it after having won it for so many years, and we lost it. What was the feeling in the locker room at that point?
You know, it was tough. You know, that was obviously our last game, and we felt pretty good about it. We you know, we thought we matched up really well with them. You know, we thought we played them. You know, and their coaches, you know, told us after the game they thought we played them as tough as anybody did all year. You know, obviously tough to lose the Chief. That was the first time I'd lost the Chief as a coach, and it's not a good feeling watching, you know, the other team run down to the end zone and pick that big sucker up. But you know, it's kind of a chance for redemption, you know, all across the board. Obviously, when you go 0-11, but you know that one's a little bit special because those guys have. The thing that's about Stephen F is they were where we were at last year, and it wasn't that long ago that they were struggling just like we did last year. But like I said, it's a new year. You know, like I told my guys, there's no more rookies, you know, in my meeting room anymore, and so we're ready to roll.
A chance for redemption, you said. You know, when you look at a chance for redemption as a coach, and you get a schedule like this for the next season, how pumped are you about? You know, this schedule's seems to be a lot more closer to our talent level than it was last year. You know, us being an FCS school, we play more FCS schools, a lot more home games.
Right.
How pumped are you about this coming up season?
You know, like I said, I think the great thing about the schedule this year is having that opportunity to play games 2 and 3 at home. You know, regardless of who we're playing, you know, it's going to be a tough battle every week. Obviously, you know, everybody's going to be ready to roll. Everybody's going to come, and those two teams are going to be, you know, Tarleton and Sanford. They're coming to our place, but they're going to be, you know, they're going to be just as fired up as we're going to be. You know, they're going to be tough. But like I said, just the ability to play at home early and get some confidence and get some momentum going. I thought that's kind of what we struggled with last year was, you know, those couple losses early. You know, with a young football team is obviously going to be tough. But you know, I think we're gonna show some people that we've grown up and that we're older and we're wiser, and you know, who knows what's going to happen.
So, looking forward to next season still. When does spring training actually start?
We're going to start 2 weeks from today, actually. 2 weeks from today, which is the I don't know the exact date. I just know it's 2 weeks from today. That's how I work in weeks. But we'll go 2 weeks from today. We'll get, I believe, 6 or 7 good practices in before spring break. We'll break for the Easter holiday. Then we'll come back and get a couple, 4 or 5 more with the spring game being on a Thursday night in April there, and we're excited about that.
The Delaney Bowl is going to be huge this year. Should be a lot of viewers getting ready to anticipate the season. How do you prepare your players for the Delaney Bowl?
You know, the Delaney Bowl is kind of it's kind of the catalyst of spring ball. You know, it's exciting for our guys because, you know, we've kind of we've beaten up on each other all spring. You know, 15 hard practices. The Delaney Bowl is kind of a reward for them. I'm not sure how we're going to do it this year. I know we've talked about maybe, you know, the winning team, you know, getting to eat steak, the losing team having to eat hot dogs or something like that. But I know that's something that they've talked about in the past. But basically, it's kind of the catalyst of spring ball. It's kind of the you know, kind of the goal of spring ball is, you know, now that you've gotten an offense, you know, kind of down pat. We've kind of tweaked some things here and there, offensively and defensively. Now you get to go out on a Thursday night under the lights. You know, like you said, you know, I'm sure you guys will probably have it on TV, and there'll be plenty of people in the stands. And you know, it's a game situation for them, and that's the last chance you're gonna be able to feel that game situation, you know, until we kick it off again in September.
Well, that's going to do about it. That's going to be about it. I thank you for coming. Good luck this season. You know, you did a good job coming, starting as a recruiting coordinator, got in the 4th best recruiting class. Good luck to you and the team next season. And that's all we have time for today here on Demon Life. We want to thank our guest, Matt Kubik, one more time. And we want to just say thank you for watching, and see you next time.